to work on this motor. But before we do that, we definitely need to organize this whole entire garage. And I have something cool to do with a couple of drawers here and there to organize them and make them better. But man, we left a mess last time. We switched the TEs onto the Evo 10, which just looks amazing. I love the way it looks. But today, obviously, we need to organize all of this stuff and start working on this engine. You guys obviously know I don't have a lot of space in the garage and a lot of stuff for storage. So what I ended up doing was buying 4 bins total. This is gonna go in my office closet. And what I'm gonna do, I bought a label maker. I'm gonna show it to you guys now. I'm putting all the parts I am going to maybe reuse in several bins. The parts that I need to sell, like all the OEM parts, ARC intake and all of that stuff that I need to sell in a separate bin. And what I'm gonna do with the label maker is I'm gonna put all the parts that are in here. That way, when it comes time to reassemble the motor, reassemble the engine bay, I can look at the bin standing up on the closet and I could say, hey, this is where my drive shaft is, this is where my intercooler is, this is where this trim piece is. I'll know exactly where everything is. And I think this is gonna help me tremendously. Again, since I don't have space in the garage, this is gonna help me big time keep everything organized when it comes time to assemble all of this thing back together. Again, it's a massive project, but if you stay organized from the beginning, I feel like this is gonna make it easier. It's not gonna be a breeze, but it's gonna make it easier. And now that this is a little bit more organized, this is still a little bit of a mess. Now let's organize this drawer because it moves around as I open and close it because things are not held in place. And I think I have the perfect solution, which is Tool Grid from OG. This stuff is pretty good, but it does take a little bit of time to set up. So let's get to it. This is still one of my favorite parts of the whole entire garage build. It's so fun every single time I get to do it. All right, so what is Tool Grid and how does it work? Imagine you guys saw me doing Swiss tracks on my floor. So this is the same thing, but for tools. So again, it is a grid, and the way that this works is, imagine these are tiles. They kind of bump together, merge together like this. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna spec out the drawer completely with Tool Grid all the way up to the tools. And my goal today is to organize as good as possible the Milwaukee tools. This is kind of fun, honestly. If you're like an OCD guy and you want everything organized, I always go back to Agent Cody Banks and 007. How they had like 007, he'll open his trunk in his Aston Martin and he'll have all the guns and gadgets all organized. Agent Cody Banks for the 90s kids, same thing. It's like he had all the tools and gadgets organized. This is my laboratory, like that's your laboratory essentially. Little side tangent, but I'm gonna organize this and see if I have to cut, which I probably will have to cut. Same thing as Swiss trucks, I could probably cut this with a circular saw. So let's get to putting the tool. Alrighty, now comes the satisfying part, which is grabbing one of the tools, selecting where I want to place it, and then we have to figure out how do we want to hold it with these locks and these corners. For example, I could put it here. This would be perfect right there. And then with all of these attachments that I have here, I also have a pack of screws. And these attachments have little holes for them so that you can screw on the tool grid itself, essentially holding all of my tools and stuff in place. So this one's a lot of work, but it's kind of satisfying in a way. So let me get to kind of organizing how I want all of this. So what I'm gonna do is first mock it up, and then I'll start drilling, not drilling, but putting these screws on. Now that I kinda have everything set up the way that I want it, I'm already gaining a little bit of space here, and around this space. This is gonna be for my remote control, keys and stuff. Maybe I need to get some dividers. But essentially now what I do is I grab some of these screws and screw it onto the tool grid, and all of this stuff will stay permanent. I'm pretty sure that this is not the way that it's gonna end up being. As I start using it, I'll maybe wanna move some stuff. But this is keeping everything as compact as possible, I think. Not sure, maybe again, as I experiment with this setup, I'll probably move things around. But this is pretty cool, pretty simple. It does take a lot of time to get everything right. But if you have some time, the TV in front of you makes it fun. Oof, and just like that, we are kind of done with the drawer organization. Take a look at this. No movement. If anything, my tools over there are moving, but everything's locked in place. Now nothing's gonna be swinging around. There are a couple of pros and cons that I found while doing this. Is one, I'm probably gonna change all of this because I think it's wrong, but I think it's right at the same time. Something that really bothers me, and I'm not sure if it's gonna bother you guys as well, is that and I thought about this after, so don't kill me. I really wish I would have had my Milwaukee logos facing upwards, so that way you can see all the Milwaukee logos. This is more of an OCD thing. But the reason why I did it like that is because I'm righty, and so this is really natural. Boom. Like, so again, thinking it's like, if I was 007, man, I need to pull this stuff right? But then there's these where they're the opposite way. This is where I felt like I could squeeze in as much stuff. And believe it or not, I still ended up with some empty spaces, which I'm like, maybe I need to get more Milwaukee tools. I don't like the empty spaces, that's one. So if you guys have any tips and you guys have used Tool Grid and you guys think there's a better way to arrange this, let me know. I'm already thinking of better ways. So this is a trial and error. As I start working on the car and things like that, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna find better ways to arrange this, but this was not bad for my first time ever doing Tool Grid. Everything's locked into place, nothing's gonna move whatsoever, and that's what I wanted. So success, in my opinion. Doing a massive cleanup in the garage as I was doing this, and another thing that I am going to do is move my Ultimate Wash and Wax to these new Presso Obsessed Garage squeeze bottles. This is gonna make it nice and easy. I could put this little bottle here and label it and put it in my bucket over there. And then I'm gonna do one with GFX. If you guys haven't smelled this stuff, this soap is insane. You guys could go, I'm probably gonna link this on the description. This is in Obsessed Garage. Right now they have a Black Friday special. I got this stuff and this stuff smells like Christmas. I kid you not, the smell is insane. I'm gonna put this here, and the thought is I'll have my 2 bottles in my bucket, and then I'll have whatever's left over in my cabinet over here. But I'm kind of just cleaning everything up. And now let me finish this part, and I promise you guys, let's remove this transmission and T-case. Oh my God. You have to smell this. Let me pass it on the camera. This stuff smells so good. Ah, I love this stuff. Alrighty, so step number one, to be able to remove this transmission and T-case, we gotta remove this inner middle spline. And the way you do that, what I end up always doing is I just go to Advanced or AutoZone. They rent this slide hammer, which I think this is the opposite way. You could get this in Advanced or AutoZone. They'll rent it to you. It's used. You just leave your credit. Not you don't leave your credit card. You just essentially pay for it, and then you're able to bring it back, return it, and they give you your money back. So this is essentially free. You don't need the specialty tool, but this tool makes removing all of this way easier. You'll see. Now we need to remove the transmission, and you guys man, the OGs remember when I removed the transmission on the GG Evo 8 MR. This was years back, so maybe not a lot of you guys know. But removing this transmission on the car is so hard. And here I'm laughing right now as I was doing this, because I could move the engine like up and down, and I could remove all the bolts comfortably. This is obviously the way to go. It's kind of like a pain in the ass to remove the engine, but when you have it out like this, it's so easy. And it's crazy to see how easy it is to work on some of these engines. They're so tiny. But anyways, let's remove. We have a couple of bolts, and then I'm gonna lower it, and I'm hoping I can remove the transmission with the dolly, the wheel dolly, and just kind of pull it out. I already released the throwout bearing that you guys saw at the beginning of the engine removal. So let's go ahead and remove it. So this car does have a new ACT clutch, and that's why a lot of these bolts are coming out so easy, is because whoever probably did the job didn't take the time to torque a lot of these bolts. And this one's a really uncomfortable one unless you remove the turbo and a lot of the parts here. So they didn't even torque it down. They just kind of put it as tight as I guess they could, which wasn't so tight, because if I'm able to remove it just with like a little twist, it's obviously not torqued down. Just like that, the transmission is out. One little bolt. I don't know why. I remembered, and I thought this bracket came out with the transmission, so I left this little bolt here holding a little bracket, this freaking bracket. And I was messing around with the transmission, trying to get it out, and this little bolt was holding the freaking thing. And I'm like, I can't believe I missed this. It's always one bolt that you miss, but anyways, part of this journey, obviously. Transmission is out, 6-speed transmission with what I told you guys, ACT clutch, single. And I remember them telling me that they did this on this car when it came from Japan, so at least that was real, and they did it right with an ACT monolock and everything. 6-speed transmission. This transmission, believe it or not, actually is for sale. 6-speed transmission, if anybody wants it, chrisgorberry@gmail.com, for sale. No problems whatsoever. The reason why this is for sale is because I have a 5-speed over there. So I'm gonna be doing a 5-speed on this 5-speed swap. I have everything I need for the 5-speed, so this is for sale. I could give you the shifter cables and all of that stuff. Hit me up, chrisgorberry@gmail.com. And unfortunately, this is gonna be it for today's video. The reason being is my freaking knee is freaking gone. Like, I have no idea. Well, I do have an idea. I play basketball, pushed it too much, and I've had 2 surgeries on my knees. I have a whole knee history, and right now I'm wearing a brace so I could get this video done. I was like, how the hell am I supposed to remove a transmission with my bad knee? Like, I'm limping, literally. But I was able to get it done. Super grateful. This is crazy. Next step is to put this engine on an engine stand, remove all of this stuff, put it on an engine stand, and remove and tear this whole thing apart. Turbo out, manifold out, water pump, every accessory, piston, rods, crankshaft, head, everything in here needs to be taken apart completely. And then we need to rebuild it, which is the funnest part, obviously, getting all of these parts and all of that. I need to order a lot of OEM stuff, which just reminded me. And then another thing that I have to do is I need to remove everything in this engine bay, because we need to respray the engine bay. So I got a lot of work, don't I? It's this one's crazy. But what I keep telling myself is one day at a time. I write down my critical tasks. For those of you guys that know me, you guys will laugh because you guys are always bothering me with my critical tasks. I write all the things that I gotta get done for that one day, just one day at a time. Today, in my critical task was remove transmission and T-case, and that is exactly what we did. So one thing at a time, it makes you not go crazy. So anyways, that's gonna be it for today's video. I have a mess, I gotta clean all of this up. This is the T-case, by the way, I didn't show you guys. This is an ACD T-case, so I need to figure out what I'm gonna do there. But anyways, I'm gonna leave you guys there. Like always, keep grinding and stay safe. Until the next one, parting out or removing this whole engine completely apart. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this series. Peace out, keep grinding, stay safe, take care.